We're going to look at how to format our table now. to make sure you're working on the same table, we want to make sure our cursor is inside the table when we start to try and format it. We still have our table tool open here, so we're going to have a look at how we deal with the size of the table. By default, it makes it a minimum of 300 pixels wide, but it's set to auto fit. Now, there's a couple of things that I'll teach you here as we go about what happens as soon as you start putting content in these cells. So we'll put a little bit of text in. And you can see what happened as soon as I put text in the first cell, the second two cells got really small. That's because it wants to, it'll expand the cell as long as there's room, and it'll just shrink the other ones depending on how much content is in them. So as you see what's happened, now we've got a little tiny cell on the end. And if I put the same amount of content in that, we'll end up with 3 cells the same size. We'll talk in another tutorial about how to control this so that even if you've got more content in one cell than another, you can keep the cells all the same size to keep your layout looking nice. That's for a different tutorial. Anyway, that's auto fit. It just keeps expanding and expanding the table until it hits 100% of the space available for the table to sit in. And then the text or the content will begin to wrap. So auto fit, full width. Let's go and take our content out here. If we say we want this table to be full width, I just click full width. We'll get this out of the way. You can see what happened here. Our table automatically now is the full width of all of the content area that it has available to it. The other thing you can do is go fixed width, and this is where you define in pixels how wide you want it to be. By default, if we go back to our auto fit here, by default it's 300 pixels. So if we go fixed width, let's make it 600 pixels. Let's see what happens. You can see now we have a 600 pixel wide table. So that's how you control the table sizes. We'll show you some more in the next tutorial.